cars don't ever start, but that's alright. Running upstairs instead of out the door. Good acting, what do we need that for? Horrible horror, so bad it's scary. Enjoy the show, but not really.
Welcome, Moon Goons, to a very short bonus episode of the Horrible Horror Podcast, the podcast where we watch the worst of the worst in horror movies. Movies so bad they're scary. I'm your host, Jedi Lord Marshall. Like I said, it's just me here today. Well, I don't think I said that, but it's just me in studio today. This is going to be a short little bonus episode to update you on our Horrible Horror March Movie Madness Tournament of Awfulness. That's right. Round one results are in. I'm just going to give you a quick update on the results, get those set for everybody, and then we'll get our shitty 16 round going. I think, and we'll just set that bracket, get that going. Hopefully by the time you're hearing this, voting for the shitty 16 round 2 will be up and going. So with that said, let's go over our first results here. First bracket. Our first matchup we had in the play-in bracket, we had seed 16 taking on seed 17, and that was Skin Deep going up against the Slayer. Let's see here. And the results of our Instagram poll that Aaron was nice enough to do for us, in a landslide with 73% of the votes, the Slayer is moving on to the shitty 16. So there's one matchup done. Moving on to our next play-in bracket. This is where we had our number 20 seed, which was an automatic berth, taking on Monster Brawl. So in the 20 seed, we had I Know What You Did Last Summer, taking on Monster Brawl. And according to the results, by a much closer margin than I would have ever thought. I was really stunned by this. But just squeezing out, Monster Brawl beats I Know What You Did Last Summer. Moving on. I thought for sure that would have been I want a landslide for Monster Brawl, because I Know What You Did Last Summer is a kind of a classic, highly thought of good movie. But hey, the votes were close. I was surprised by that. And that's what makes this tournament so much fun. You never know what's going to happen. So moving on to our next, where we had an automatic berth on our 19th seed. Going up against our 14th, we have Friday the 13th, Part 8. Jason Goes on Vacation. Or Jason Takes Manhattan. Going up against Netflix's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And oh boy, this was actually incredibly close again, which, again, I know Friday the 13th, Part 8 isn't a great one, but man, I didn't think this could be this close. But with 52% to 48%, almost can't get much closer than that. But with the 52% of the vote, Netflix's Texas Chainsaw Massacre will be moving on into the shitty 16. Very close one there. And actually, almost all of these have been very close. So, lastly, our last bracket on the play-in round, we had seed 15, Leprechaun Origins, going up against seed 18, Prom Night 4, Deliver Us from Evil. Now, this one, again, I was surprised to see. I thought for sure, it's on reputation alone, Leprechaun Origins would blow Prom Night away. But we haven't had one of these in a long time, but we have a tie. 50-50 split on the votes on our Instagram page. 50% for obviously split, so it's each one. So in that case, since I'm the only one here today, I will have to split the tie and decide which one is worse. I'm going to do a little thinking out loud here. So Leprechaun Origins was pretty fucking terrible. I remember it was an MTV Studio One. Hornswoggle was a leprechaun, even though you never really saw it or him. It had the green predator, the gold. It was gold predator vision. The 4 Americans backpacking in Ireland and getting set up to be bait for the leprechaun, be a sacrifice. Man, it was pretty bad. The kills I don't remember the kills being very great. It was just a bad premise. And yeah, a lot of people had suffered from the Halloween 3, maybe the Nightmare on Elm Street or not Nightmare, Halloween 3 and Friday the 13th Part 5, prime where everybody's expecting Warwick Davis or the actual Leprechaun, and he's not there, so it probably pissed off a lot of people. And now, if Cincinnati Jeff is hearing this, I'm not knocking Friday the 13th Part 5, buddy. Calm down. Slow your roll down there. It's a good movie. I'm just saying it's that in comparison where everybody thought it was going to be Jason, and it wasn't. So, spoilers, by the way. Now, Prom Night 4, Deliver Us from Evil, again, also pretty bad. Got away from the kind of the other ones. As the first one didn't really have anything to do with the previous high school or Mary Lou or any of that. And number 3 was kind of cheeky and fun and kind of campy. And 4, they kind of went way more serious. It was about the priest who kills kids at the one kid's house that used to be his old like abbey or what's the monastery. His monastery turned into like a mansion. But man, it was bad. But I remember having so much fun doing that episode with Monica from Spooky Tuesdays that it was made so much more fun to talk about, and some of the crazy nonsense that goes on in that movie at least made it kind of fun to laugh at and enjoy from that aspect, where Leprechaun Origins just kind of sucked, and it was kind of like a bummer. So I'm going to say Leprechaun Origins is the worst because it wasn't really fun. Like Nachos did that. Nachos McWare did that episode with me. Yeah, we probably made some fun out of it. But it's like, it's like they were saying, turning chicken salad into chicken shit, or you can't make chicken salad out of chicken shit type thing. That's the same. And that movie just kind of sucks. So yeah, I'm saying Leprechaun Origins is moving on into the Shitty 16. That's it. So that's the round 1 result. I'm going to take a quick break, and I'm going to be right back. I'm going to update the brackets, and I will come back and I will reveal what the new brackets will be for the Shea 16, and I'll be right back after this. All right, I'm back. So got everything updated on the computer on the official brackets. So moving into the Shitty 16. We're going to have in the first bracket, or in the first matchup, we're going to have our number 1 seed, Camp Murder, taking on the Slayer. That one's going to be interesting because both those are absolute terrible fucking movies. God, and although I feel more people may have seen the Slayer than Camp Murder, so it might give it the edge, but goddamn, that one I'm excited for. Matchup number 2, we have the 8-9 seeds. We have the Night of the Lepus, taking on seed 9, Willy's Wonderland, the Nick Cage Friday Night at Freddy's ripoff. That'll be interesting. That'll be fun. I think I have a prediction on where that one's who's gonna end up on there. Moving on, third matchup, we're gonna have the 5 seed Galaxy of Terror taking on the 12 seed Phantom of the Mall. Another one that's gonna be really fun. I think I'm not sure if I could pick a winner there. I have a feeling most people might do, but I don't know. I think Phantom of the Mall was a lot of fucking fun. I'm not trying to sway anybody's votes, but I think Galaxy of Terror should move on in that one. But I've been proven wrong before. It's all about the voters' hands. So we'll see what happens. Next up, we have the 4 seed, Scream Park taking on the 13 seed. Moving on from the playing round, Monster Brawl. So Monster Brawl taking on Scream Park in the next round. Followed that up by our number 3 seed, Trick or Treat 1986, aka Ragman, going up against Netflix's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Another good matchup, I think, right there, man. There's got some good matchups this year. Some very deserving movies will not be moving on, and that's a shame. But it's gonna be fun. All right, next up we have the 11 seed Black Pumpkin taking on the 6 seed The Bates Haunting. Both those could be good. I don't know about that one. Next up, we have the 7 seed Slasherette Party taking on the 10 seed Frankenhooker. I have a feeling which way that one's going, off of this people's sentimentality and cult status stuff. And then lastly, round out the Shea 16, we have the 15 seed Leprechaun Origins taking on the number 2 seed Night of the Dribbler. both those movies are very deserving of moving on to do the epically awful 8, but only one can do it. Only one can move on. There you go. That's what the brackets are going to be. We'll get this finalized. Hopefully, like I said, by the time you're listening to this, it should be up and ready for you guys to vote. And we'll get the results either hopefully before next episode, or if I have to do this a little bonus update episode again, I will. It's no big deal. But all right, I want to thank everybody who voted in round 1. I appreciate it. We love getting the votes. This is personally one of my favorite times of the year, for just because we do this tournament, and it's always exciting and fun to see what movies get voted to move on, and ultimately which one is crowned the worst of the worst of the past year. So again, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for voting. Till we're back here again, remember to always watch more horror movies and to keep it tight.